Hello, welcome to IGN. I'm Daniel, this is Alex, and you're watching Evolve. Now, before we show you lots of really cool gameplay footage, and the game is a lot of fun, it's kind of important just to kind of set up the characters, because they play a big part of the game. So, here is the team of Planet Tamers or Hunters. From left to right, you've got Val the Medic, Markov the Assault, Griffin the Trapper, and Hank the Support class. And they really work together in order to bring down the Goliath monster.
Yeah, so the way that a hunt will play out, so this is the planet of Shear, and the Goliath has been dropped. He runs off into the distance, and as the hunters, you've got to find him. That's your first job. You've got to track him. So that's where Griffin comes in. Now, this is Griffin here leading the pack. He really does scout around. He looks for footprints, but then he throws these sound spikes into the ground, which, when triggered, will do a sonar ping on your radar, so you can find out where the enemy is.
Now, there's lots of kind of wildlife on the planet in addition to the Goliath monster. These kind of guys will attack you sometimes, but they're kind of more passive creatures as well that you don't have to worry about. They're there for the monster to eat. The more it eats, the quicker it levels up and evolves.
So as you can see, that's the carcass of a monster that the Goliath has already eaten. These guys are hot on its tail. Very much a Jurassic Park moment.
They do move in hers, Alex.
They do.
And even though this might look like the Goliath, it's actually not. This is a pale-faced sloth and one of the bigger creatures on the planet that you probably shouldn't piss off.
Definitely steer clear of these guys if you're the hunters.
Now, if you're Griffin, you should be looking out for stuff like that. Birds flying off in the distance because they've been startled. That's probably telling you that the big monster, the Goliath, is over in that direction. And you've got to communicate to your teammates and say, let's go over there together. And so it requires a lot of communication and coordination as Griffin.
It's all about coordination.
Now, sometimes he should be hunting down the monster, but sometimes the monster might find him first. So this doesn't go too well for Griffin.
Yeah, if you're playing as the monster, you can sneak, which means your footprints cannot be followed.
So this is a hunt as it should be going to plan, everybody working together. Now, Griffin's going to throw down here kind of a portable arena net that kind of goes around the monster, trapping him in place. He can't get away, and that's probably his first instinct when he's not fully powered up.
Yeah, so at this point, you know, as the hunters, you've really got to get him when he's level 1, because
when
that's when he's
weakest.
Yeah, his armor is
now
thin.
He's evolved here, so if you look, he's kind of visibly different. He's got more spikes, and you'll see in a minute he's got some dangerous new abilities. So if you look here, he's not jumping off and running away. He's going to stand and fight.
Yeah, as the monster, you start with 2 abilities, but as you evolve, you get a third, and then the last evolution, you get all 4.
So that's Markov. He's the assault class. That's his heavy-duty lightning gun. Deals a lot of damage, but you've really got to get up close. He also has landmines. So Griffin and Markov, you see here, are getting really in the monster's face, dealing a lot of damage. But there are other characters to play as.
Yeah, so if you're going to play as Val, the medic, the idea is that you basically hang back and look after the rest of your teammates using her med gun, which you can see there.
But also you can release a health burst, which tops up everyone's energy much quicker. It kind of releases a ball of glass. There you go. There's the dome of health.
Yeah. And if you're playing as Hank, his special abilities are, well, he has a personal shield that you can put around an individual player. But you can also call in an airstrike, which deals massive damage. But again, you've got to time it right. You've got to make sure that that beast is trapped.
But if you're playing as Val right at the back of the group, it isn't kind of just, you know, healing your teammates. There is kind of a tactical, more offensive element to play as the medic. You've got a sniper gun, which reveals weak points in the monster, and you can tranquilize it, which kind of puts a green outline, letting you see it through walls. So it's easy to... Yeah, it slows it down a touch. So even if you're the medic, you still have an offensive part to play.
Yeah.
And if you're going to take down the monster, you've got to work together. Yeah. Now, eventually, when the monster fully evolves, the kind of dynamic shifts, and the hunters become the hunted. And it's up to you to protect this facility and keep the civilians safe. They don't seem to be doing all that well,
unfortunately not. So that is your first glimpse at Evolve. For everything on this forthcoming first-person shooter that we cannot wait for, stick to IGN.